Well, good morning, my Teaserking family. Great news as we start off with our gold and silver. Silver, $52. Once it broke 50, once it broke 40, it was supposed to head there, but it doesn't just go again. It's up $1.90 today. Why isn't it up $20 like gold? Gold's up $80, basically $40.99, basically 4,100. Hasn't officially hit there yet. It's been to 40, it's at 40.98. Will there be resistance at 4,100? I guess. I don't know why. What's the difference between that and 4,075? There's no resistance. We're past the 10 o'clock barrier. There might be a little bit of downfall at noon, but it shouldn't be too much. And silver 52. And then silver goes to 55, and then silver goes to 75, and silver just keeps going. Again, these aren't stocks. These aren't something you profit take. If you profit take, I will yell at you because that's the dumbest thing you can do. We're on the Titanic. We find a lifeboat. The Titanic's going to sink. We're in the lifeboat. We're safe. The dollar's the Titanic. The dollar's sinking. You get out of the dollar into the lifeboat, gold and silver. Why would you get out of the gold and silver and get back on the Titanic that's sinking? It is not something you profit take. Now, if you own 100 ounces, you might sell an ounce to go on a vacation or to do something. And now you're going to get 4,100 for your ounce. Most guys will give you spot or close to it. And as the gold becomes less and less available, they might give you spot as opposed to 97% of spot. This we'll see. Silver, I'm not sure if they give you spot or 97. They probably give you spot because they're only charging you $2 over. So if I go to my guy's store, well, I can't go today, he's closed, but if I go tomorrow and it's 52, I pay 54. So he's not, I don't know why, but he's not marking it up. Hi, David. Well, did you read the heading? 7-0. I nailed everything. And I got both games tonight. And I'll give you my free play for next week because I want to give it to you early, which is USC. Now, I found a 10.5. So I've already bet USC plus 16.5. And I noticed it's down to 8.5. And again, there's more than one casino, more than one line. So I see it at 8.5 now. So you get 14.5. I still advise betting it. I emailed most of my customers last night, get the 16.5. If they did or not, I don't know. But I knew it was going to change. And by this morning, it's mostly 8.5s, which is still crazy. All right, let's see if we can get 4,100. We're at 40.99.70. Go 4,100. It's such an exciting time. And this hasn't even really started to go. But look at every day, up $80, up almost $2 on the silver. Well, we'll come back to this. Hopefully we'll see. 40. I'll show you the 41 when we get to it. Is 1049. So this is what we're focusing on right now. This is only going to go up. It's extremely undervalued because it's been pushed down, suppressed by COMEX. It's this is based on not supply and demand yet, but that's where it's headed. Right now, it's based on COMEX with paper dollars. This is a paper dollar, paper gold price, right? Gold and silver. This is not a physical, what people actually in the marketplace would pay for it. I guarantee you the Chinese are the only reason they're in COMEX is because they can get it for 4,100, but I guarantee you they can't get it for 4,100 where they trade. It's probably 43, 4,400. So keep that in mind. That's why people are using COMEX because it's demented, it's kept down, and it's cheaper than anything else. And again, JP Morgan trying to do options to keep the price down. Only an idiot would be shorting this much demand. You don't short into high demand. My cough is actually better today. I think when I eat, I'm having coffee, and I got my the hell do I call this? My avocado. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. So when I eat, I think my throat hacks a little bit more but I was able to sleep last night pretty good. All right, come on, 40, 99, 72. Come on, 4,100. We always want to break through the next because you see how quickly we went from 3,800 to 3,900 to 4,000. We finally broke 4,000, and now we're at the door of 4,100. What a great moment. All right. Now, in my title, I put in, there we go. We did it. What a happy moment. 5203, 4,100. There it is. Take a picture of that, fellas. Doesn't get any better than that. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of that. Send it to my buddy from Alabama. I'll send it to D. All right. So very excited about that. So then I was talking, let's look at football. Going slow. Oh, wait. So jewelry versus coins. I know some of you want jewelry and some want coins. I prefer the coin for value. In other words, an ounce of gold right now is going to cost you 4,100 plus the premium. So let's say 4,200. But a 1 ounce chain is going to cost you 4,500 or more, because you got to pay for them to make it and design it and the guy who created it. So you're paying all this extra bullshit. So like if I were to buy this now, it would be 4,500. It's 1 ounce, but it's 18 karat. So I don't even get a whole ounce of gold, but I got to pay for it. And that's the problem. So you're really not. Now in India and China, Singapore, as Pat can say, it's 22 karat or 24 karat. It's harder to work with 24 karat. It's too soft. So usually 22 karat, but then an ounce is an ounce. So at 4,100, you get 4,100 for the gold chain, but you're probably still going to pay 4,500 for them to make it, design it, and create it, and market it, everything, all the other bullshit. But if you get the coin, you just buy the coin for 4,200. So the coin's 4,200, and it's 1 ounce of gold. So there's no takeout if it's 18 karat or something. So in China and India, it's 22 karat. So it's a full ounce. So if it's 4,100, you get 4,100 for the chains, but you're probably paying more for it. But on the other hand, when you do sell it, you do get a 1 ounce. It says 22 karat. So you get the whole ounce, where I get 3/4 because mine's 18 karat. So my advice is to buy the coin, because you're going to pay 4,200 for the coin, and when you sell it, you get 1 ounce for it. It's 1 ounce. You get pretty much, let's say, spot for it. If this is 18 karat in America, it's 18 karat. So it's stupid. But if let's say you're in India and you get married and you get a 1 ounce gold, that's you're going to sell it for spot. So you'll get 4,100 for it if you're trying to sell it. And that's the difference between the two. but you'll pay more for the jewelry than you will for the gold coin. But at the end of the day, the gold coin, I know I'm going to get just about spot, and the necklace, I'm going to get just about spot. So you pay more going in. Coming out, it's the same thing. Yeah, there we got the my friend from Alabama. There it goes, the rocket. There we go. It is a happy day. So if I'm in China or India, I can buy a 1 ounce jewelry, and mostly I'm buying them for celebrations, birthdays, weddings. Um, it is 22 karat. So I know I'm going to overpay versus the coin, but if it's a wedding or a birthday, you're not giving coins, you're giving jewelry. So if you're buying it for that, you're buying 22 karat. So you're okay on the way out. I know when I was working at Tenneco, the guy sitting next to me was from India, and his mom had a bunch of jewelry. And she said, well, she wants to sell it in. At that point, it was at 2,900, I think. This was November. Yeah, it was about 28. And I said, don't sell it. It's going to go way up. And then he told his mom not to sell it. And then it went to 3,000. So I bet the guy is missing me now. I've told many people not to sell it. Another guy, it's this other stupid company, was going to sell his gold. I said, don't sell it. It's very cheap. Don't sell it now. I don't know what he did. But as you can see, people getting rid of it at 25, 2,600, and now it's at 41. But it's at 41 on its way to 10,000. So do you really want to get out of it now? No. And again, it depends why you need the money. But the gold coin, you're going to get spot. The jewelry in the US, if it's 18 karat, you get 3/4 spot. If it's 22 karat, like in India and China, you then get a full ounce. You'll get the full spot. So it depends where you are and what is it. I don't think they have 22 karat here. Take garlic. Well, I do put it on my eggs. I mean, I'm not going to eat it whole, but I do have garlic that I cook with. So if I make an omelet, I'll put garlic on it. If I don't put it in my salad, but when I make chicken, anything I cook, hamburgers, chicken, steaks, I put garlic on it. But I'm not going to just eat it whole. But I'm on my, I'm still on my antibiotics. I got one more day. Like I said, it was pretty calm last night. I wasn't hacking. I thought, oh, good, it's over. I woke up. I go, oh, good, I'm breathing. I'm not hacking. I was able to sleep on my back. So I don't know. I don't feel that bad, but I just walked. So I'm a little bit hot. So I think I'm almost done with it, but we're still hacking. So anyway, if the problem with the jewelry is you're going to pay more for it. An ounce of gold is 4,100. You're going to pay 4,200. A 1 ounce bracelet, necklace, something, you're going to probably pay 4,500 for. Now, if it's India or China, it's 24 karat, 22 karat. You'll sell it at spot. If it's here, it's probably 18 karat or 14 karat. So you're going to way overpay, and you're not going to, if it's 18 karat like mine, I only, at 4,000, I get 3,000 for it. I get 3/4 of it, which is ridiculous. But considering I paid 500 for it, it's happy times. But this is my master's, so I'm not selling it. Hey, Luke, silver and gold looks good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're bitching about it going now. I just showed 4,100. 52 silver. And because it hit those milestones, it's just gone now. Silver will just keep going. I don't know why silver's up $1.90 today, but gold's up $80. I don't know why silver doesn't go up $80. I don't know why it keeps going up 30 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents. versus gold goes up $10, $20, $50. I don't know when that breaks, but we need silver to start moving $10 worth at a time. And it will when it hits 100. There's nothing that can stop it. They have to cover, and they can't because of Basel III. The US, JP Morgan, even if they short it, they can't do anything with it. They have to cover it. So I don't know if it's the military or whoever trying to keep the silver price down for use as a metal. I'm sure it's fucking up a lot of military budgets because they need it for Tomahawk missiles and other things that need silver. But too bad you can't. It's a worldwide. The Chinas and the Russias and the Indians are buying it, so you can't keep the price down. There isn't any. I showed you Mark McGuire. We can go through that again tonight. Today, there isn't any there. It's just so you need it to cover, and you're going to have to just do more of it. You're going to have to pay more because I'm not letting my silver go at 52. When I see a zero at the end of that, it's 500. I might let 10 ounces go if I need the money, but I'm not. This is not bought to profit take. I'm not buying it to get back into paper. This is long gone. This is worthless, right? The euro, the dollar, the Swiss franc, the British pound, the Canadian, these are all worthless. So I would never sell my gold and silver to get back into this. It doesn't make sense. I'm not profit taking because what good is it to make $1,000 or $20,000 of this? Doesn't make anything. There's no point in it because you're in dollars that are worthless. So if I make $20,000, they're worthless. And that's what we got to watch. Some mining stocks up 10 to 20%. Yep, I know you love your miners. Just be careful. You're still in paper. You're still worthless. So just be careful. You always want to own physical. Forget the profit you're making. Because the profit is in dollars. So if you make 10,000 of these, they're not worth anything. You put them on your wallpaper, right? But if you make 10,000 in gold, then that's actual money. So be careful with that. And this is October. Stock market I saw it down 800. Let's see what it's doing today. It was down 800 on Friday. And they're really just running out of money to print to keep buying it. It's up 400 a day for some reason. Idiots, I guess. Who'd be stupid enough to buy stocks in the middle of a recession, right? You got to be really stupid. Anyway, I'll show you Mark McGuire later with Alligator. They're kind of clueless. Alligator must be listening to me because now inflation is not prices going up. It's the money losing value. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, because they're printing the money and you can't print gold. That's why gold, they keep saying it's no counterparty risk. They don't know what they're talking about. You can't print it, so it can't lose its value. That's why gold keeps going up. Got nothing to do with counterparty risk. It has everything to do with it's limited and you can't print it. That's why you hold gold and silver and it's money. That's the other reason. So, it's just like a Picasso. You're going to hold it, but it's priced in dollars until it gets priced in gold. So everything will get priced in gold eventually. And that's when, you're going to buy your houses and your cars for, pull out an ounce of gold to buy a house. That's really where we're headed because you can't use dollars for it. Now, I went to my barbecue restaurant and I asked the owner who I talk gold with, are you set for digital money? And he just laughed at me. He said, no, we're not going to use digital money. They don't like digital money there. So I don't know what people are like talking about when they say, well, we're going to end the dollar and go digital. And I'm like, no, it's like, no, you can buy Bitcoin, but we still have the dollar, right? You have an option. So if they go to stable coin, I wouldn't go on it. I would just stay in the dollar. Basically, we don't even care. We're just going to stay in gold and silver. And it's as much gold and silver as we can eat. I don't like the term hoarding it. I don't hoard my baseball cards. I collect them. I don't hoard gold. I collect it. It's just business. The more I have, the better it is because I'm buying it cheaper than it's worth. So you buy it, it's it's like the Oklahoma Texas under. That was a double lock. I should have put it in 20 teasers. I mean, it's lock it, lock it, lock it. Uh, anyway, so I understand you with the mining stocks, but you're missing the whole point. And I keep explaining it to you, but it's getting rough to keep explaining to you. It doesn't matter. The people who own the stocks are foreigners. There's 42 trillion, and they're going to dump. And when they dump their whole portfolio. Maybe they include miners, maybe they don't. The miners will get crushed just like everybody else. And then they might be bought back if there's even inventory in the mine, which is being bought by China and Russia are buying the gold mines or buying the inventory of the gold mines. So I'm not quite sure. This is not like normal. So I don't know. I have no interest in buying any miners, any stocks at all. I've been on stocks for about 5 years now. And the only stocks I had were gold stocks where I day trade them. On the 10 o'clock drop, I would buy them when it started going up. And that was it. And I made some good money on it. All right. Let's go to NFL yesterday. We'll go through the games. Let me go through my line, my prediction, and then what happened. Denver 24-17. They win 13-11. Not sure why. But they get the win. That was my first winner, was Denver -1. A W, Denver 21-2 in a teaser, now 22-2 in a teaser. I have the Rams 34-14 over Baltimore, and the Rams win 17-3. So I had that one pretty good. Seattle 24, Jacksonville 20. Seattle 20, Jacksonville 12. Pretty fucking close. I have Seattle as the winner. I had them as a dog. I know they went either way, but they still, if you bet them, you win. They're a very strong road team. Dallas, 37-17 of 54. I went over, and they ended up losing to Carolina 30-27, a 57. So I had a 54. It went 57. I went over 47, so 41. Easy W. Dallas just keep pounding over. Cleveland Pitt. I got Pitt winning 20-17. They won 23-9. I was watching the game film on YouTube, the 20-minute one. And Pitt's looking good. Their defense is getting a lot of sacks. Gabriel looks pretty good considering. Cleveland, Pitt, Aaron Rodgers was clever. He hit Metcalf a lot, so the Pitt defense didn't bother him that much. And so Cleveland, Pitt wins 23-9, and they look really good. They'll win that division because Baltimore, I don't know if they're going to win when they get their players back. If they get their players back, these seem like pretty serious injuries that they're missing multiple games with. I think they got the bye next week, so we'll see what happens after that. But they've only won one game, so I wouldn't count on Baltimore. I think they're out of it this year. They're the Penn State of the NFL. And by Penn State, they fired their coach. So New England 20 to New Orleans 17. New England wins 25-19. New England, I'm not buying Drake May. They're laying 3.5. They win by 6. So they cover, but they're not all that. I mean, New Orleans, I don't know how good they are. They're pretty bad. 19 on New England seems low. But I am understanding the teams now. I won't have another losing week the rest of the year, especially in the NFL. I'm zeroed in at this point. I'm not going to be surprised by Indy or Jacksonville. That's it. I went 7-0 yesterday. I got both games tonight, and looking to just run the tables now. I'm very, very good at once I get my vision, which I now have. San Diego 24-13 over Miami, wins 29-27. Miami's just pathetic. Herbert against Tug. Herbert threw for 4 touchdowns. So 29-27 there. It's a tough one. They had it's funny, the 1:00 game. Well, Denver goes to London and wins. LA goes to Baltimore and wins. Seattle goes to Jacksonville and wins. Dallas goes to Carolina and win. These are all 1:00 games. San Diego wins at Miami. So all these teams going West Coast to East Coast, it really didn't matter. They were fine. Let's see. So Arizona goes to Indy. Indy minus 6.5. Arizona with Brissett played a good game. They were close most of the game. Indy wins 31-27. Their defense maybe not as good as we think. Arizona lights them up for 27, so we note that. Tough to figure out Arizona and tough to figure out Indy, but Arizona's better with Brissett, I think. So we do get the win there. Did have Indy. Oakland, I have 20-6 and wins 20-10. Not too bad, huh? Nailed the Oakland score. Tennessee's just a Z team. They don't score. They're a Z team, but they're really like a Z under. I have to make a new category, like a Z under, Z over. A Z's no offense, no defense, but they have no offense, and they're just not scoring. But I guess Oakland doesn't have. I guess if you play a team like Oakland, who's an under team, you play under, even though they're a Z team. They're not able to take advantage. But Oakland wins 20-10. So pretty good call there. Tampa, I have winning 30-20. They won 30-19. Pat myself on the back for that one. Tampa, again, 21-2 in a teaser. Cincinnati, Green Bay, I have Green Bay winning 34-17. Green Bay wins 27-18. I'm a motherfucker, aren't I? Green Bay, Love didn't look too good. It was clearly a fixed game. It was clearly Green Bay, you can win, but not by more than 13. The spread was 14. So you win by 13, but no more. And they once got up 14, and then they let Cincy score. Why, if you're down 14, do you go for 2? If you're down 14, you score the touchdown. Now, anybody in their right mind would kick the extra point, get down 7. And if we score again, we tie the game up. Oh, no, we go for 2 now. And if we miss, now we need to go for 2 after the other touchdown to tie the game. Sounds like the stupidest thought process in the world. Cincinnati's much better without this Zach Taylor. I don't go. Again, you're playing analytics. It doesn't make any sense to me why you wouldn't kick your extra point, get down 7. And then if you score and you really want to not go for the tie and go into overtime and go for the win, then go for 2. Then you're down 1. But when you're down 8 to go for 2, okay, they did make it. So now they're down 6. So now what? You still got to score and kick the extra point. I don't understand, because you're more likely going to miss. Even if you get it, what is the point? There's no point that makes any sense to me. Kick your extra point, get down 7, score, tie the game, go to overtime. That's what every coach in the world would do who has a brain in their head. Obviously, Zach Taylor does not have a brain in his head. You cannot defend it. It was terrible coaching. So they win 27-18 instead of 27-17. All right. Detroit, KC, I got KC 34-28. I bet the over in the game. And KC wins 30-17. I get the over 47. I had 46. And I got it with a couple minutes left as KC got down there. It was 4th and goal, and they actually kicked the field goal to go up 13. Detroit outcoached themselves. They decide to run the ball, and then they get down, and they had no rhythm to pass it. So it was a really stupid game plan. I thought against Kansas City, they needed to throw the ball more like a Josh Allen does. Very stupid. Way too much running. And then they got down and they couldn't do anything. Golf looked like crap again. As soon as you get him off his spot, he runs like a girl and throws the ball into the ground, and he's terrible. So tonight I got Atlanta 27-24 over Buffalo, and I got Washington 31-14 over the Bears. Teaser trend tonight: Washington 22-3 in a teaser. How did the teaser trends do? Denver 21-2 in a teaser, 1. Trend on Indy, 1. Play against Tennessee was 19-3, but that was last year, but it's still working. Tampa Bay 21-2, 22-2. Play against Cincy 19-3, goes to 20-3, and there was a Green Bay trend as a home favorite. And then tonight, Washington 22-3 with Daniels last year plus this year. I don't really trend the totals. They change too much, and I just got to feel it. Well, that's what I am. A lot of my games are intuition, being the INFJ. That's what I am. And so what that means is I kind of feel it. So like I could feel Detroit KC would go over. I didn't, never looked at. My friend was going to play Detroit, and I warned him that left tackle was out and half the secondary was out. And Mahomes has been hot. You don't want to fuck with Mahomes. So I hope I talked him out of it, but I didn't like the Lions as a dog, and it would have lost. The prudent play was over because Mahomes is starting to score now. You're playing really well, Casey. This line, all right, 2.5, probably should have been 7, but they're overvaluing Detroit. Let them overvalue it. So that takes us to next week. I do not have the lines yet. I have my lines. Let's have some fun. Thursday night, Pittsburgh. I got Pitt 7 over Cincinnati. Cincinnati with Joe Flacco is a little bit better. Pitt's looking strong. I haven't graded it. Again, I can't grade it. There's 2 Monday night games. I don't know why they're doing 2 Monday night games. So Tuesday I have to go in, update my stats, and then recalc my grades. So Cincinnati, I don't know if they're still a Z team, but Flacco made somewhat of a difference, but I'm not sure Browning probably would have done better. He was starting to connect with Chase. But you got to throw the ball to Chase 10 times a game at least. The guy gets open. He made a touchdown catch that was his right arm he couldn't use because the guy was holding him, and he catches the ball with his left arm, and he just tucks it in, and the guy's amazing. Just throw him the ball. I mean, so look for Flacco to throw a little bit more to Chase. Cincinnati's live with Chase, not with Higgins, but with Chase. And Pitt's playing better. They kind of dominated Cleveland. They had a lot of sacks. I think Pitt had 3 or 4 guys on defense out in the beginning of the year that are now back. Jalen Ramsey's making plays. TJ Watt's out there. Aaron Rodgers and Metcalf are in stride, so look for this. So my line's Pitt -7. We'll go through the real line after I do this. LA and Jacksonville is in London. So now you've fucked Denver. They had to play Philly and then go to London. And now you're fucking the Rams. Had to play in Baltimore, are now going to London. What the fuck is this? This is a mess. Jacksonville just travels from Jacksonville. It's a huge edge for Jacksonville. We'll see. If I was LA, I arrive there today and just take the week and get used to the time change and get used to the flight. It takes you at least 2 days till you know where you are and who you are on those European trips. Maybe they'll go to see European vacation or Euro trip or something. I got Jacksonville -3. But again, it's in London. It's a neutral. But I think LA's got a disadvantage here with the going to Baltimore and then, going on. I think it's ridiculous. Carolina and the Jets's. I got Carolina -3 at the Jets. The Jets are pretty bad. There's nothing I can say. The Jets defense isn't showing up. Their offense sucks with Fields. They couldn't score on Denver, which I expected. Now, where I played the over in the Carolina-Dallas game, I think this is an under game. We'll see what the lines are. Philly goes to Minnesota. I got Philly -6. Who's Minnesota's quarterback? Is it still Carson Wentz? I think they realize McCarthy's a bust, and they made a terrible mistake. Not only drafting him, but getting rid of Darnold, who looks very good. Big mistake by Minnesota, but they're good at that, right? Kirk Cousins, they haven't been able to draft a quarterback ever in Minnesota. They don't know what they're doing. Very weak GM. Good defense, but when it comes to quarterbacks, they've never had a good one. In how many? They lost 4 Super Bowls. Fran Tarkenton, what a joke that was. Philly now off of 2 losses. Philly lost to the Giants. And Philly lost to Denver. So we got Philly off of 2 losses. Let me write that. So I would look for Philly. Now, they played Thursday night. They've had time. They don't have the brightest coach in the world. So we will see. I got Philly 6 over Minnesota. Probably a good under game. Again, most of these games next week are under games. I don't think Minnesota's going to hurt. I don't know what Barkley can do on Minnesota. They're a real good defensive team. Oakland, KC, I got KC 7 over Oakland. Maybe it's 10, but, KC on a roll. Oakland's Geno Smith's terrible. Gentry's doing okay, nothing spectacular. Apparently their offensive line sucks. My friend in Vegas keeps telling me no offensive line. It's not Geno Smith's fault. Yeah, it is kind of Geno Smith's fault. But yes, with no offensive line, they should be running little screen passes and quick crossing routes. So I got KC. They're still behind San Diego and Denver. New England 3 over Tennessee. That's about all it is. New England's not much better than Tennessee. Tennessee's the worst. Another what I would think would be an under game. Cleveland 3 over Miami. Cleveland, Dylan Gabriel looks fairly good. Miami's terrible. I think Cleveland can do something here. I think they could get a win. Miami's terrible. The Bears 3 over New Orleans. Again, New Orleans with Rattlers, horrible. The Bears aren't much better, but this is probably a game they can win at home against Spencer Rattler. San Diego 4 over Indy. This is a very good game. Now, San Diego's got their offensive tackles out. Now, this is pro ball. They should have backups that can actually block. Kansas City's been going through that for years, where they've got their 3rd string tackle out there. Indy, I don't know. They didn't look great against Arizona, so now maybe we're seeing the real Indy team. I still haven't bought that they're an A team, that they're this good. I don't know. They can go into San Diego and win. San Diego with a good defense. We'll see. Denver 7 over the Giants. This is a good game for Denver at home against a pretty weak team. The Giants. Jackson Dart is not going to do anything against this Denver defense. Green Bay 3 over Arizona. Again, I don't know what Arizona they went to yesterday. They went to Indy and almost won. 31-27. So again, do we understand Green Bay? Yeah, but they're okay. Do we understand Arizona? No. Arizona and Indianapolis, I have no idea. So I just stay away from them, basically. Washington, 4 over Dallas in Dallas. Dallas, the ultimate over team this year. We keep betting them over. They keep covering. Probably over next week with, we'll see if Daniels gets his receivers back, but with Daniels, he lights it up. Although Washington has a fairly good defense. So I go Washington 4 over Dallas. The 49ers 3 over Atlanta. They're so injured, but they do have McCaffrey. Atlanta with Penix. If this is the real line, I like Atlanta as the dog. Again, I'm kind of hoping this is the real line. Detroit 3 over Tampa. I like Tampa as the dog here. Detroit's left tackle's out, and there are a couple of guys in their secondary, but the way Tampa's playing, I think they should be favored in the game, but they won't be. And the last game, Seattle 3 over Houston in a very good game. Houston with the tight defense, Seattle with the strong defense, another under game. So there's 5 or 6 under games for different reasons. Houston, Seattle because of great defense. Miami, Cleveland because there's no offense. Denver, the Giants, there's no offense, and San Diego, Indy. So there's like really strong defenses putting you under, and there's really shitty offenses putting you under. All right, time for the real lines. So you can see the method is I'm trying to get the line, and now we're looking. Now, understanding these are to make the betting even. So can we take advantage of that? That one guy was confused. He thought they were trying to make the line to make the game even. They don't. It's to make the betting even. So here, Pitt, 5.5, 42.5 to Cincinnati. It's to get people to bet on Pitt and people on Cincinnati, not to get the game even. So I have Pitt minus 7.5. It's Pitt minus 5.5 and 42.5 to total. So I'm thinking 7. So a little advantage, Pitt, nothing really good. In London, the Rams 345. I had Jacksonville by 3, but I might have been confused thinking the game was in Jacksonville, not in London. All these foreign games, Jesus Christ, Ireland, London. This is the 3rd or 4th London game. You had Brazil. You got Germany later on. What the fuck is going on here? You're making sure the players are real tired, which makes it harder to bet on them. I guess is that the thing? You're trying to make everybody lose all their money gambling? I won't let that happen. So the Rams 345 in London. So it's a neutral site. Again, it's based on Jacksonville's defense. Hey, Gerald. Silver and garlic, my favorites. Okay. And gold, too. Don't forget gold. Yeah, garlic's a really good heater. I already had my Celtic salt this morning. I just take it whole and then drink it. And it's really good, the salt. If it's Celtic salt, it's good for you. That regular Morton white salt at the restaurant, you don't want to eat that crap. It'll kill you. The Jets, 1.5, 43.5. Now, I have Carolina favored at the Jets. So this is probably an under because you got Fields, who's terrible. Carolina's terrible. They're both, I think, Z teams. We'll see when we rechart. But again, a weak favorite in the Jets. Carolina beat Dallas yesterday somehow. I got to watch that game. Philly, 2.5, 42.5. Now, this game is very surprising. I have Philly minus 6. Here it's only 2.5. Total of 42.5. Well, it's definitely an under with Minnesota and Carson Wentz, but you give me Philly I only got to lay 2.5 means I get 3.5 in Philly on a 2-game losing streak. Now, I gave you two game losing streaks in college, Florida State, which is now 3, and Penn State, which is now 3. I'm done chasing. And it's not really like in roulette. I would normally keep betting red. If red's hitting, I would never bet black. Here it's a little different because the psychology is the team is mad and they're going to play well. And if that's Penn State's best game, then they're in big trouble. Florida State played a good Pittsburgh team, so that's different. But here, Philly, 2 in a row and a must win to Minnesota, especially if Washington wins, because Washington will tie for first place tonight. That'll force Philly to win. So we'll see. They won the Super Bowl. Kind of a weak coach. He wants to just do push tushes. Like, no. This is football, not rugby. I hate the whole idea. There's a push tush is allowed. Pushing the other player is not football and should be not allowed. It's not in the rules. I don't know where they're getting it from. Of course, these stupid kickoffs shouldn't be allowed either. So Philly 2.5, 42.5. All right. Oakland goes to KC. Wow, KC minus 12. I had 7. Only because you really don't get it. But yeah, Oakland is that bad. But here's where you got problems. KC is not going to win this game by 12. It's a rivalry game, and it's the NFL. No team laying more than 8 or 9 points covers. Like at Green Bay yesterday, laying 14. Wasn't going to happen. There's no way KC covers 12. They might be 10, and then late in the game, and they won't kick they'll just go for it. They won't cover this 12. Oakland is pretty bad. KC needs the game. Total on the game, 45.5. Oakland's not going to do much scoring. It is a rivalry, so KC will play. John Madden's coming back to coach for Oakland, I believe. You can't play Oakland. I mean, they're pathetic. Where's Al Davis when you need him? All right. New England, 742.5. This little shocking. I don't buy New England as a 7-point favorite on the road against anybody, and I know Tennessee's terrible. Just shocking. 7 points, way too much. Miami and Cleveland. Cleveland 2.5, 40.5. All right, I had this game pegged as I had Cleveland by 3. Miami's a weak team. Cleveland brings that defense. Gabriel looks like a real quarterback. I mean, he's dropping back. See, what I like in the quarterback, he drops back and he's decisive and he throws the ball right on the guy and for 10 yards. And yet you don't see Drake May. He's got to roll out, and C.J. Stroud and Caleb, they all got to kind of roll out. They don't know where they're throwing it and hope somebody gets open, but they won't throw it until the guy gets open. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The Bears, 5.5, 45.5. Against New Orleans. You know, New Orleans, the Z team, but can you trust the Bears to win? Not really. Total of 45, probably under, but we'll see. The Bears aren't playing good defense, so I don't know. San Diego, 1.5, 48.5. To Indy. I'm surprised this line's so low. Now, we don't really know Indy yet. We thought we knew them. We thought, they'll take care of Arizona yesterday, and they barely did. 31-27. Where was their defense? Nothing to be seen. Herbert should have a good day against them. Indy, we'll see how good they are. I think this line's way too low. 1.5 should be at least 3. So this could be a San Diego play. The Giants go to Denver. Denver 7, 48.5. Or 40.5, I'm sorry. This is a play we like. The Denver play at home against Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's not going to Denver and winning. We already had Denver as a lock when they played Tennessee at home, and they took a while and won. Bo Nix had to throw a few picks to keep it close. Giants don't really have a great defense. Denver, much better team all the way around here. I can see the Giants winning when they get the West Coast team coming there, or Philly on a Thursday night, but not on a Sunday and them traveling to Denver. That's not where you play them. Green Bay, 6.5, 44.5 to Arizona at Arizona. Green Bay is not a strong road favorite. Arizona, I don't know who they are. Who's is Brissett? I like Brissett better than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's another one of these. Let's go run around and see what they do. But I don't love Green Bay. They're not it. They're not Kansas City or Buffalo, Philadelphia, where they're just going to win. Washington 2.5, 53.5. And I did expect a high scoring total or a high point total. Washington 2.5. Dallas, terrible defense. Good offense. Washington, their defense is not that bad. We'll see tonight. But here's where you bet Daniels, or maybe you bet it over because it's Dallas. But here's where I would suggest we got to watch the game, make sure Daniels doesn't get hurt tonight. But tomorrow, if you're going to bet it over, I would probably bet it over at 53, as it'll probably go to 55 or 56. But it's a pretty high total. Atlanta at the Niners. The Niners 345.5. And they're our bitch. I really like Atlanta as a dog here. Penix, much better than Mac Jones or Purdy. Pretty good team. Very live dog. And I don't think the Niners are all that. Tampa got them pretty good. I had Tampa yesterday. Got them pretty good. And here's Tampa. Detroit, 4.5. 52.5. I think this line's high. I don't get Detroit. Tampa's very good. The Baker, he beat Detroit at Detroit last year. Very strong team, good defense. Detroit, I think their coaching's really getting worse. Too much running against Kansas City. What was that all about? I don't know. So I look at this game as this is a live dog with Tampa here. In our last game, Seattle 341. The 3 is what I thought. 41 is your total. You try to bet Houston games under because they got this great defense, as does Seattle. Dallas, an over team. Green Bay, I don't know what they are yet. Cincinnati's got some touchdowns on them yesterday. Denver, strong defense. San Diego, strong defense. Indy, what are they? If I looked at Indy yesterday, they're an A team with an 18 defense. And they gave up 27 to Arizona. So I don't buy this Indy great defense. We know San Diego's got a good defense. Chicago, New Orleans, we just know New Orleans stinks and the Bears aren't much better. Cleveland, we know they got a strong defense. Miami has no offense. So here's where it's an under, is because Miami can't score and Cleveland's got this great defense. Tennessee, no offense. New England, no offense. Decent defense, I don't know. You're not going to see much against the high school team of Tennessee here. KC, Oakland, a decent defense. But again, they played Tennessee yesterday, so you would have expected Tennessee not to score. Kansas City, very strong defense. They're not what you think. You think they're this high-scoring over team, but they have a great defense. They'll hold Oakland to nothing. And the question is, what's KC going to KC will score. Big rivalry game again. Philly, mini, great defense. Philly, great defense. not much. Jalen Hurts isn't going to do shit in this game, and if it's still Minnesota with Carson Wentz, this game might end 3-0. But again, Philly off of 2 losses. Carolina and the Jets. Carolina, no defense, but the Jets really don't have an offense to take care of it because they don't have a pro quarterback. They got a college quarterback in Fields who sucks. He has no touch. He just throws it straight. He can't like loop it over people and let it fall in. LA, Jacksonville, LA, great. Probably the best team here with the Kansas City and a Buffalo and a Philly. Stafford's playing well. Puka-Nuka, what can you say? Good running, good defense. They got it all. Jacksonville doesn't. They still have Trevor Lawrence, who still sucks. Not much. The defense, the edge goes to LA because of the defense. And Pitt, Cincinnati, again, Pitt, their defense is starting to look like Pitt's defense from what I saw with the Cleveland game. And Cleveland, Gabriel's a good quarterback. Cincinnati with Flacco, I don't know. I just Flacco is not the end all be all here. So we'll see. I don't know. All right. So that's a first brush of this is last week's pros 7-0, 2 games tonight, and then we got next week's. So that's what we covered. And I'll go through the stats, but I need Monday night's games because it gives me totals so I can grade the team and an update on the quarterbacks. All right, I'm just going to look at key games in college. We start with Tuesday. I'm not even going to waste time. Wednesday, we got 3 games on Tuesday. They're Conference USA games. 2 games on Wednesday, Conference USA. And then we go to Thursday. We got Tulsa and East Carr. East Carr 1751. East Carr's the A team. Tulsa's a W. And Friday, we've got 4 games. Miami 14-53 to Louisville. Both are A teams, but I don't like Louisville's quarterback. Nebraska goes to Minnesota. Nebraska 7-46. I don't buy Nebraska's all that. It's good. San Jose State and Utah State. Utah State 4-64. Good offense. North Card. Jesus. That didn't come out right. North Car goes to Cal. Cal's 10-47. North Car stinks. No offense. That's your Friday 4 games. And then it gets us to Saturday. So we'll just go to the good games. TCU 367 to Baylor. Both teams are over. That's going to be a 100-point game. Army Tulane 10-46. Army's not all that. LSU Vandy. I got Vandy 249 against LSU. That's a tough one. I really want Vandy as a dog here, but we'll see. Let's see if the line changed. Somebody I thought said Vandy was the dog, but I'm not seeing that. James Franklin gets fired. I love it. You lose to Northwestern on 2 losses in a row, you should be fired. All right, let's go to this. Yeah, Vandy 2.5, 49.5. I'm just looking at my paper because I just did this last night. So Vandy 249 to LSU. You got to love Daggio here. LSU has got no offense, but they do have a great defense. So I don't know. Do I take Vandy under? Or I'm not sure. Let's go. Michigan is 650 to Washington. Um, I think Washington's a live dog here, and I think it's an under game. Washington's got a good quarterback. Michigan, their quarterback's not very good. I know they're paying him a lot of money, and I know he's a freshman. He should not be playing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He'll make a few good plays, and he'll miss that. And look for Washington to blitz him a lot. And I like Washington's quarterback, so they're a very live dog here. Georgia Tech, Duke, 2.5, 60. You're giving me Haynes King and points. I just thank you very much. That's perfect. Oklahoma 644 to South Carolina. And there's only one way to play this game, which we already know. Toledo 24 52 to Kent. I say that because Kent's the Z team. That's how you want to bet the Z team with an A team. It's going to just dominate and crush them, and they're off of a loss. Northwestern 348 to Purdue. Purdue's a very live dog this year. They got a quarterback. They got the coach. They're playing much better. And Northwestern, I mean, they're hey, we beat Penn State. Oh, we have a game this week? Oh, we don't care. We beat Penn State. Utah 348 to BYU. This is a huge rivalry game. Both teams with outstanding defenses. This will be a great game. Cincinnati 20-57 to Oak State. Oak State's the Z team. Cincinnati has looked pretty good, but again, it's on the road. It's hard. Do we lay 20 on the road, even though it's a Z team? Boise 10-62 against Vegas. Both are over. This is probably an over game. We'll see. Boise looked terrible against Notre Dame. Texas A&M 762 to Arkansas. Arkansas with a 30 defense, an over team, A&M an A team with a 20. So you're lining it up. Do I take A&M -1 or do I go over 56? And that's where you look at Arkansas with a 30 defense. So A&M should be able to move the ball with Reed, but it's going to be tougher for Arkansas to move the ball on A&M. So do we think it'll be over? I mean, you're either playing the game over or you're playing A&M. That's basically it. Temple, Charlotte. Why am I going here? Because Temple has been playing very well this year, an over team. Are laying 10-47 to Charlotte, who's a Z team with a 32 defense. I look for Temple here. Ohio State 27-42 to Wisconsin. Wisconsin stinks. Ohio State just keeps shutting you out. 42 is a little bit low for the total, but doable for Ohio State. Wisconsin, I think, has enough defense to keep it from 50-0. It's tough to take Ohio State -21 at Wisconsin, but we'll see. It's not the same Wisconsin. But Wisconsin's coach used to be Ohio State's defensive coordinator, Luke Fickell, so they might take it easy on him. Michigan State at Indiana. Indiana, what a team. Going to Oregon and beating them? Jesus Christ. Indiana 27 in a total of 53. Michigan State, terrible. I'm not sure they're an over team. And total of their defense is a 31. Look for Indy to just pound them. But Indy runs the ball down your throat. So I don't know. I think Indy's more of an under team because they're going to play an Army-Navy game. They're just going to keep running and run. That's what they did with Oregon. In the fourth quarter, it was all run. And thank God I got a late field goal to cover the over. So I don't know if Indy wipes them out, but UCLA wiped out Michigan State. So I don't think this will be a pretty game for Michigan State. UTSA, North Texas, both over teams, 27 defenses. North Texas, 5.5, 67. I mean, this is a 100-point game here. Old D and James Madison, the A teams in the I don't know what are they, Conference USA or one of those conferences, Sun Belt or whatever. James Madison 3, a total of 47. Mississippi goes to Georgia. Georgia 755. Both teams with 18 defenses. Excuse me. Georgia's, we had them under last week with Auburn, 20-10. Was it 30? It was beautiful. It was great last week. We had the Auburn Georgia game under, LSU South Carolina under, Florida A&M under, Oklahoma Texas under, and then we went over with the Arkansas Tennessee game. 5 for 5. It was just the way it should be. This SEC, you have some over teams, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and then you have your under teams, Georgia, South Carolina, LSU, Florida. And then you got teams like Alabama, which they ended up playing an under with Missouri. Missouri is a very good team, but we ended up with Alabama, and we won with them. So that's all that matters. So Georgia, Ole Miss. Ole Miss has a running quarterback. He ain't going to do shit on Georgia. Texas Tech, 10-48 with Arizona State. Their quarterback was out Levitt before the game, and then we jumped on Utah. I don't know if he's bad, if it was like he's out or it was just that week. So we'll keep an eye on it. Texas Tech's the real deal. Great running back, very strong offense, very strong defense. They're a top 5 team. Look out for them. I don't want to bet against them. So we'll check the quarterback. Old Mississippi State and Florida. Florida 10-52. That's a big number. Both teams with 19 defenses. I think we know what to do with them. Oregon goes to Rutgers off of the loss. Oregon 14-59. Rutgers an over team. And Oregon, don't know. That quarterback is really inconsistent. Dante Moore from UCLA, who sucked there, and he's starting to suck at Oregon. We'll see. I don't really like Oregon's coach. He's an idiot. But we'll see. So they're laying 14 at Rutgers. Again, flying to the East Coast. I don't know. I don't think this quarterback's good to get Oregon the 50-point games that they usually do. Rutgers can score and hang with them. They are a good offense. Washington State, Virginia. Virginia 17-56. We love Virginia this year with my quarterback from North Texas. Washington State's a W team. Now, they did play at Ole Miss 24-21. I don't know where that came from. But Virginia's a passing team, not Ole Miss is more of a running team. Colorado State, 1.5, 54 to Hawaii. I bring this up because Hawaii killed Utah State. Hawaii got an offense, apparently. I think they're a live dog here. Texas goes to Kentucky. Texas 12-44. Again, an under game. Texas, no offense. Arch Manning's, what are they keeping him there for? They should be bringing in the backup. At least they have a chance to win. Kentucky with that. So what? Who won this? Texas, Oklahoma. Texas won 23-6. Okay. Well, good for them. I knew it would be low scoring. I mean, I wish all games were that easy. So Texas 12 with an 11 defense, Kentucky with a 27, total of 44. Kentucky's not going to score here, but neither will Texas. Maryland, UCLA. Now the light has been switched on at UCLA. The new offensive coordinator. You just beat Penn State. You go to Michigan State at noon, which is 9 a.m., and they killed Michigan State. It was 38-7 in the third quarter. And here they get Maryland, who's they got a 16 defense, if I believe it. I have no idea what UCLA is anymore because I got to throw out the first, 6 games and just go to the Penn State game and the Michigan State game, in which case they're scoring upper 30s and giving up, probably 20. So definitely like UCLA here. Penn State and Iowa. Well, Penn State's got a new coach. Their quarterback got injured also. Iowa 338. I have no idea. We got to settle down and see what Penn State's doing, who the quarterback is. USC Notre Dame. Now Notre Dame last night was 10, 62.5. Now I see an 8.5. That's why I sent the emails out. Bet it now. I bet it last night. You've got to understand I'm going to do what's best for everybody here. So if I see a missed spread, as I saw with Oklahoma, Texas, and I see now, I'm going to shout it out, but I'm going to bet it. I'm not going to wait till the line goes down. So I saw some 7.5s, and today I saw 8.5s. This will be our free play. We'll go USC plus 14.5, plus 16.5 if you can get it, if it's 10. USC's a much better team, better coach, better quarterback, very good defense, as you saw against Michigan. Big revenge here. It's at Notre Dame, but you're giving me double digits in USC with this quarterback and these running backs, and this team can score. This is a real team. This isn't like they got a shit quarterback. So USC 14.5. Thank you very much. Alabama 8.5, 60 to Tennessee. This should be high scoring. Tennessee, Joey Aguilar. Well, he showed you what they did against Georgia, and nobody else is doing that against Georgia. And the game's at Alabama. Understood. But Tennessee will stay in this game, and Joey will score a lot. Alabama, I'm not buying their defense. It's not a Nick Saban defense. And I am buying their scoring, but I will buy Tennessee will score. So the total here is 60-54 is what, 28, 26 gets us there. And I doubt very seriously Alabama doesn't score in the 30s, and Tennessee will be right there with them. I think you're looking at a good 60-point game. I don't see, like the Lions tried to run the ball last night. Yeah, that did great. I don't see Alabama running the ball or Tennessee running the ball to kill clock. I think they're going to go after it. Pitt and Syracuse. Syracuse has a new quarterback. Their other quarterback is hurt, Angelini, with an Achilles. Pitt is 10-56. Pitt's very explosive, as they showed you against Florida State. Syracuse, it's tough. They're an over team, but I don't know about with this quarterback. I got to look at his stats. Missouri goes to Auburn. Missouri an A team, but hasn't really played anybody. They played Kansas and won by 4. They played South Carolina and won by 9, 29-20. And then they lost to Alabama 24-21. Auburn, great defense, as they showed you. I think Missouri's a live dog here at 1.5, and I think the total under 44 is very live. In our last game, Florida State goes to Stanford on the West Coast at 11 o'clock. Florida State 17-54. Stanford's a Z team. I think Florida State wins by 50 here. Because they're finally getting this weak team and they can take it out on them. They've lost 3 in a row now. Now, I'm not betting it because they've lost 3 in a row going, oh, well, they're due. They're never due. I mean, Penn State might lose the rest of their games. If they're not due, you're never due. It's you are what you are. But in this case, because they're playing Stanford, a Z team, now, again, we've got the time difference. playing this game at fucking 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, which doesn't help because Florida State's playing at 1:30 in the morning. But I think they'll be ready. I like the coach. I like the quarterback. The defense is okay. Stanford with the 30 defense. So I think Florida State takes it out on Stanford here. This is a team they can take it out on, a 30 defense. Look for them to go wild. So laying 17, you lay 11. Yeah, that's third quarter. They should be up 30, but we'll see. This is a very strange year. Big week in college last week. Everything came through. The only one I lost that I really missed was Penn State. All the other locks won. I lost some minor games, Old D, and I think there was one other total game. TCU, I think I lost with on the road, but it was very small. But all the big bets, Georgia Tech, USC, Oklahoma, all those unders and overs I told you about, those were the big bets. They all won. So when people ask me for my percentage, I kind of go, but I don't bet it. The secret of teasers is not to bet the same on every game. That's why I have locks. Now, I'm not selling the locks and pretending it's a lock just to sell it. The locks are to vary the betting. You want to bet 100 on one game and 500 on one game in a teaser. Because if I give you two teasers and we go 3-1, you lose with the juice if they're the same bet. If they're 100 and 100, you go 3-1, which is pretty good, you lose juice. So you lose $10 in juice if you go 100 and 100. So the only way to bet teasers is to stagger the bet, which is where now not all games are locked with a bigger bet. I had a 17 unit that won. A lot of them are 9 and 11. And then I hit it with the 17, and then I had the locks for 21 units. So if we hit the locks, which we did, then that's the key. Now, we lost the Penn State lock, but it wasn't as strong as the Oklahoma under locks, which were 2 locks. But that's how you bet teasers. So you look at that and you bet them more, and it's who do we trust? Ohio State, Florida State, the Alabama game, the Duke game, Georgia Tech. We got Duke laying. I missed this one. Duke is 2.5 to Georgia Tech. I think we talked about it. We get Georgia Tech as a dog to Duke. Thank you, God. So this is why we base the team. Oklahoma, South Carolina. South Carolina is an under team with a 19 defense. Oklahoma is a B team, but it's because they played some high school games. But against Michigan and Texas and those, they're an under team with a 9 defense. So this is an under game. So we got under against under. Oklahoma, Texas was under against under. Georgia against Auburn was under against under. We're back with Georgia under again as they're in conference. Teams off of a loss, Oregon, Penn State, Florida State. Oregon's different. They lost to a very good Indiana team, where Penn State lost to Northwestern. I mean, I don't think Penn State's going to win a game the rest of the year. Ohio State's going to kill them. Jesus. So then you're looking at weak favorites and live dogs. You're looking at UCLA, who turned it on. USC, a very live dog to Notre Dame. Missouri and Auburn, very tease the dog games. Let's look at the Z teams before I leave. Z teams, Sam and Houston. Let's see. Z team, Kent. They go to Toledo, who's the A team there. Lou Monroe, a Z team. UMass, the Z team. Probably the Zest of all the Z teams. Oklahoma State, a Z team to Cincinnati. We've got Charlotte, a Z team at home playing Temple. Akron and Ball State are both Z teams. Um, Georgia State, a Z team at Georgia Southern. So I don't know if it's a rivalry game, but Georgia Southern's 6 points and 58. Georgia State's a Z. And Stanford, our last Z. There's a few W's. And the difference is the Z score like 15, the W score like 20. And so I'm like, I'm just being a little picky. So we've got Conference USA Tuesday and we got UTEP, Sam Houston on Wednesday. Jesus. Thursday, at least, is Tulsa East Cars, AAC. And then Friday, the Big Ten game, Nebraska Mini, Cal, North Carolina. I don't know, North Carolina's an under because they can't score. Oklahoma's an under because they have a great defense. Texas is an under because they got Arch Manning. So that's week 8 again. So USC is the getting as many points as you can. I got 16.5 yesterday. Looks like it's 8.5. So you can get 14.5, still over 2 touchdowns. That's your free pick for this week. Bet it early, bet it often. Very good play. USC is a very good team this year. Maivia, and the difference is it's Maivia, the quarterback. Last year, Miller Moss, who's at Louisville, is not a very good quarterback. Maivia is. And look at the difference between Caleb and Maivia. It's night and day. Maivia is very good. He threw a touchdown pass against Michigan. It was like, I don't know why he threw it and how it was caught, but it was a back shoulder that the guy caught one-handed. I don't even know how he saw it and caught it against Michigan, but that was like the last touchdown. Beautiful play. So SC will be in the game. They've lost to Notre Dame a few times. Big rivalry. Notre Dame, good defense, good offense. Should be a very entertaining game. The total on the game 62. I think it might get there also, but Notre Dame's been playing a little better defense, so I'd rather go take USC in the points than maybe an over in the game. Could be an over. Anyway, it's like I got to check what car is that. I don't think my car does that. Maybe it does. I don't know. Let's see who's bothering me here. So the Tigers agreed to give AJ Hinch a contract extension despite second half collapse. And my friend goes, why? Because he cheats. AJ Hinch is a cheater and a liar. How you hire a cheater and a liar, I don't know. They collapsed. They're really doing it with nothing. And good question. Why would you give him an extension? They're a really bad team. They show their thing in the playoffs. And, it was asked about Skubal. What would you do with him? I'd just let him go. See, people don't understand that. This free agency doesn't mean you trade him and you get something for him. You're going to get all these good players. So you don't trade him. You let him go. And the money you would have spent on him, you go and buy 5 or 6 players. That's what you do. The Tigers need hitters. They need pitching. They need relievers. How this team had a 15-game lead over Cleveland because Cleveland had 2 hitters hitting over 200. I mean, they were pathetic, and yet they made it with their pitching. But I mean, Detroit's phony. I mean, they're not a real good team. They got hot early on and were winning the series because they were playing a bunch of bad teams, the White Sox and Colorado, things like that. And then when they played the tougher teams, they were getting killed. Even Cincinnati would kill them. I love this. I'm getting the roofing review at the house that wasn't even mine that I lived at 10 years ago is done. Okay, I didn't ask. This is why I hate AI. I'm not asking for this, but yet they're giving it to me. So we talked about buying gold and silver jewelry versus coin. In the US, I definitely would buy the coins because you're paying a lot for the chain, far more than spot, but you're not going to get this. You're not even going to get full spot because it's 18 karat. So you're going to pay a lot for something worth 18 karat, which is 3/4 of the spot price, but you're paying over spot. So in the US, buy the coins. In China and or India, yes, you could buy the jewelry because it is 22 karat. So you will get the full spot price back. But the question is the markup. I mean, if this costs you 5,000 in India, but you can buy the, Eagle or Cougaran there for 4,200 now. If you can buy it at near spot and it's 1 ounce, you're going to get spot back for it. So the question is, how much over spot are you going to pay for this? And I know it's for weddings and stuff like that. So you kind of have to get the jewelry, but at least you are getting 22 karat. So you're getting full. If it's a 1 ounce, you are getting a full spot for it. So in those two places, maybe you're okay. Depending on what you're paying. Otherwise, it's best to get the coin. It's just 100 over spot and it's 1 ounce. And when you go to sell it, if you want to, you get spot for it. Not that I'm recommending ever selling gold, but there's a point if you go on a vacation or have a bill. Now, soon the dollar will be gone, as well, a lot of your bills will be gone. And then but see, as long as the key is you have the gold. That's the key to it. As long as you have the gold, then you're fine because the gold is the gold's going to hold the value, and that's what you're looking for. So it's not an investment, it's protection. It's taking 100 grand of monopoly money that's worth nothing, turning it into 100 grand in gold. The difference is this is worth zero, but the gold is 100 grand going to 200 grand, going to 300 grand. And we'll have to find out what this new thing is going to be because this is worthless. So you got gold. The value of gold is not dependent on the dollar, as some of these idiots think. If this goes to zero, gold does not go to zero. Gold keeps going higher and higher. Things get valued in gold. Gold does never lose its value. Never forget that. So if this is zero, gold is not zero. Gold's even higher. Gold's 20,000. I mean, whatever. Gold will buy you a house, right? But it's not, does not have to be priced in dollars. That's the key. Excuse me. And that's what you got to understand the most. Gold is not priced in dollars. It is priced in dollars, but it doesn't need to be. Just like a Mano card. It might be priced in dollars, and if the dollar goes to zero, The mano will be zero in dollars, but the mano will always have value. Or the Brady or the Jordan, they'll always have value. It's just we need a new currency to value it in. You have to have the medium of exchange, so you have to have the currency. So this is to get paid with, and then I go buy goods and services with it. That's what the purpose of this is. So you can't really, you might kill this dollar, but you won't kill the whole market. You won't kill the whole thesis. The thesis is I need something to get paid in and buy and sell. So if you fuck this up, all right, then what's the new one? And they'll just roll out a new one. I mean, that's what has to happen. That's how a market works. And if you take that out, you have to replace it. Gold and silver will be good no matter what we do, no matter what that medium is. If it is gold and silver, we're fine. And it'll be worth 10 times what it is now. Gold and silver, excuse me, are very limited, right? So if gold and silver are very limited, the price is going through the roof because as this goes out and this goes out, as these go out, well, people start realizing this is a hero. The demand for gold goes up tenfold, which makes the price go up with it. So you're holding gold, it'll be a small fortune, not zero. It's just priced in dollars will be zero, but you don't need to price gold in anything. You price gold in gold. And that's why I always talk to people and they'll go, well, what's a Bitcoin worth? Well, it's worth a Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't worth anything because it is priced in dollars. And since it's not real, the Bitcoin can't be priced in Bitcoin, right? Gold can be priced in gold, but Bitcoin can't be priced in Bitcoin. And the stocks you own are priced in dollars. So when the dollar goes out, your Amazon goes to zero. Does it get repriced? I don't think so. I mean, in what? Yeah, I'm sure something will get repriced in gold, but that's coming down the pike. So be careful with that. So the less paper you have and the more gold you have, the more your value will be. And as you can see, as people are preparing, the price just keeps going and going and going. Let's see what our prices are now. It's 12.18, 41.13. So we did not get the 10 o'clock drop. 12.18. It is 12.18. 41.13. Silver, I have no idea why it dropped from 52. It was 52 at 10:30, 11, dropped down to 51.50, and now back to 51.86 on its way back to 52. Why it would drop at noon is bullshit. Why it dropped at 6 a.m. is bullshit. Why it dropped at 4 a.m. is bullshit. Why would it drop? Who's selling it? Oh, we're trying to get the price down? It's huge demand. You can't, that's not going to happen. Anyway, but here's our key, gold, 41.14. Now silver back to 51.88. So silver will get back to 52 on its way to 53, on its way to 75, on its way to 100. Again, these are paper, so they're really worth 10 times more. So gold at 41.14. So I got COMEX's paper. Don't worry about it. Off it goes. That's why we buy physical. You do not buy paper. You do not buy ETFs, and you do not buy gold stocks and silver stocks. You buy physical, and you're fine. As we know from Attack on Wall Street, the guy had $60,000 in a real estate trust, and what did the bank do? Oh, we're going to delist it. So we're going to make it worthless. So they made his real estate trust worthless. His 60 grand went out the toilet. Then they tried to sue, but who are you going to sue? You're not going to sue anybody. when I fumble my yogurt, my avocado. Um, so that's what you need to understand. You can never have like gold go to zero. Right? Physical gold can never go to zero. There's always demand, and it's worldwide. It's China, and it's Russia, it's BRICS. Can never go to zero as long as you have the physical. The stocks are going to crash because people will pull their money out. Right now, they think it's a safe haven to be in the stock market, but it's not. Just wait till it crashes. It's going to crash. We know that. People will pull their money out. And what happens normally when you get panic, you sell your assets. Well, we're fine. We don't have anything that's going to go down. We're not in the banks. We're not in the stocks. We're certainly not in the bonds, and we're not in Bitcoin. So we don't have anything that's going to crash, and then we need to sell some gold to cover the crash. We don't have anything like that. In the stock market, you're going to get margin calls. You're going to watch your stock go down. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to sell your stock, which is going to cause more of a crash. You'll probably sell your Bitcoin to cover the stocks, or you might sell some gold to cover it. And that's what we're doing. But if we're only in gold, there's no risk that it's going to drop. If anything, it's just going to keep, as you can see, it just keeps going. Which it really has to. Because as people realize what's going on, what are they doing? They're buying gold and silver. And silver will go up very strong soon as gold keeps going, 41.18 now. Well, I'm buying gold at 1,700. Well, now it's 4,100 with the premium. It's 4,200. Well, I don't have that much gold for it. I don't have that much dollars for it. So you know what? I'm going to buy 100 ounces of silver instead of 10 ounces of gold because now the gold's costing me so much. Okay, so you get out of, you're going to get out of the dollar. You're gonna get out of the dollar. You're gonna buy gold and silver, and that's really the key to it. So that's where we're headed. But you can never go to zero and be delisted like Attack on Wall Street, like all these movies, The Big Short, and the Jeremy Irons, not the Die Hard 3 movie, but the other one where he stops hearing the music. Bullshit. It just shows you how stupid these bankers are. If they didn't know, I knew in 1997 the housing market was going to crash because Jimmy Clinton allowed everybody had to buy. Anybody who wanted a house bought the house. Well, that doesn't make sense. So if you're doing that, what are you saying? You're like, of course, there's going to be defaults all over the place because the government got involved. Oh, everybody should have a house. Yeah, but we sell these and we sell them to people with good credit because houses are so expensive. You got to have people that can afford to pay them off. No. You got to do loans to anybody. So in 1997, you knew the housing market was going to crash because these idiots are saying, you loan money to anybody. Yeah, even if they're not working, if their credit scores 300, no, you're going to lend them. You're lending them money. So you knew it was going to happen. You didn't need all this bullshit done. You could have just like now, we got off gold in 1971. This inflation is going to happen. Gold's going to go skyrocket. The dollar's going to be worthless in 1971 when you're off the gold standard because that's what always happens. Because these idiots keep printing the money, making it worthless. And gold's going to go up because people will start running to gold as they realize the dollar's worthless. The problem is people discovering the dollar's worthless. Most people really don't discover that, right? They don't understand it. Well, your steak's $20 at the grocery store now. Well, they rose the price of meat. No, the dollar lost its value. You go to the grocery store, everything's more expensive. It's just the way it is. Like it or not, it's because the dollar's not worth anything. So that's your first insight that the dollar has no value is 350 for a 2-liter Coke. My dark chocolate went up to 550, although they don't have any on the shelf. So they keep doing price increases on dark chocolate. Like it was 2 something, then it was 4 something, and now it's 5 something, and nobody's buying it because it's not even there. I don't know what the hell they're doing with the dark chocolate. I can go to Walmart and get it another Swiss brand for $3, so I do that. But I'm sure that'll go up. I just want to have dark chocolate anymore, unfortunately. I'm not going to buy M&Ms. I'm not going to buy milk chocolate. I'm only going to buy dark chocolate over 80. And it's been tough to find at Meijer's, certain places. And then when I do find it and it's $5, I'm not interested. It's just too much over market. Sort of like steaks. When they hit $20, I lose interest. I'll buy hamburgers or I'll buy chicken instead. Again, all that is the dollar going out because the people running the dollar, JP Morgan, keep printing it. And they're not smart enough to realize if they keep printing it, they think, oh, I just printed $1 million. I'll put it in my pocket. No, now it's worth less. You've made the value of the dollar drop as you printed another $1 billion or $1 trillion. People just don't. Why don't we pay off the debt? Why don't we just print 37 trillion and pay off the debt? Because it won't work. Because the 37 trillion that you printed off will not be worth 37 trillion. They'll be worth, 10 trillion, if that. Like I tell Bobby, he's got his $1 million, 1.1 million every year, but by now it's worth maybe 10,000. His 1.1 million is not worth 1.1 million it was in 2011. Now he's fortunate he can still go and trade it for gold because the gold guys are still taking dollars. So if I'm Bobby, I get the $1 million in gold in dollars, and I immediately run to the gold store and switch the $1 million, although he's got to pay taxes on it. That's probably 600,000 into gold. And then everybody says, well, the ball players end up broke 2 or 3 years later. Not if they buy gold with their earnings. They'd all be rich. But they're not being taught that. All the financial planners do not want you in gold because they get no commission on it. It's a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, anything else? What are we looking at here? So look for silver to just 100. And it's something you can buy. I think it's still available for people wanting 20, 30, 40 ounces of it. Luke's bought several of the boxes that are like 500 ounce. Probably get one of those, although they're going up in price. But again, it's the dollar that's losing value. You must be understanding of that. It's sort of like Penn State. Penn State's good. They lose to Oregon. Oh, that's okay. Lose to UCLA. Now lose to Northwestern. And now you go, Penn State's lost its value. They're not worth anything. They're not a very good team. Stay away. Avoid. They're garbage. And that's really what you're looking at is they just got worse. And the dollar's just going out. And the euro and all the paper, the Canadian, the British pound, all that is going out. And look who's smart. Africa going on the gold standard. China, Russia, already there at the gold standard. India, all the BRICS countries, Brazil, they're all buying gold. Saudi Arabia is selling their oil for gold. I don't know what's going on. I see gas at the gas stations for like 280, 290, like it's going down. What the fuck is that? It should be $10 a gallon by now. I don't know. I'm not going to complain, but it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, So that's what's going on. So enjoy tonight's game. I played them both. And I think that's about it. So we're catching the changing teams. UCLA, USC is much better this year. Oregon, their problem, quarterback. Vanderbilt, good quarterback. Virginia, good quarterback. So you look for the quarterback, you bet the quarterback. He's good. He gets you a lot of points. He gets you a lot of money. That's why we look for him. He's the key to the team. Some teams are very strong defensively. Auburn. Georgia's got that D. Some teams are very explosive. Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri. They have the good quarterback and they're scoring. So that's why you look at the teams. You try to get them. So you got to meet expectations. What's the expectation? Alabama, Missouri. My expectation was Alabama would win, and it was a low spread, which I was shocked, and it was, and they won. They were only laying 3, and they won by 3. But in teaser world, we were getting 3, and we won. But I thought the spread should be higher. I knew Missouri wasn't all that. They struggled with South Carolina and Kansas. Alabama's beating Georgia and Vandy. I knew they wouldn't be flat, and I don't know that they were or weren't. Didn't watch the game. But that's what we got out of it. Anyway, I have an appointment, but I don't recall what time it is, and they didn't send me a thing. I think it's either at 1 or 2. But we'll see. Anyway, another 5 minutes. I think that's it. So now I'm zeroed in on these games, and I'm expecting big weeks going forward, like I just did yesterday, 7-0 in the pros. And that's pretty much my expectations going forward, or maybe one loser. Some game I get fooled on, or the Lions over. Barely got there, but got there at the end. But Kansas City's not an over team. The only over team really is Dallas, maybe Buffalo. Teams with good offenses and not good defenses. There's not a lot in the pros. There's a lot of unders. There's a lot of bad quarterbacks. Anyway, I think that is it. Our last check on our gold and silver. Again, nobody sells it. 51.90 and 41.09. So we're in the 41s, which is a good sign. And on its way to 42, on its way to 45, on its way to 5. And just keep going and going and going, because you need gold. And it's not overbought. It's not, it shouldn't be this high. Silver should clearly be should be 75 to 100 by now. Again, this is my favorite, is like gold's up $92 today again, but silver's only up $1.84. And my question is, why isn't silver up $92? Why is silver like nickels and dimes and gold's dollars? I can't understand. Anyway, that's about it. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Again, I got they keep going with these 2 Monday night games. It's crazy. Baseball, I have very little. I was happy the Tigers lost, but I have very little interest in it. I just don't like managers that are cheaters. And this A.J. Hinch is a terrible cheater. And then he lies about it. I didn't know they were banging the drum for curveballs at Houston. I didn't know anything about it. Yet when you watch him manage Detroit, you see he's clearly in charge. He knows everything. So you didn't know what was going on in Houston, but you know everything in Detroit? Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right. Well, keep your eye on gold and silver. Just keep buying as much as you can. Get out of your dollars as much as you can. You got to buy, you want to buy a Rolex, you want to buy a Mantle card, certainly fine, but I would focus on gold and silver first, because you'll be using that if you want to buy a Mantle. You want to buy a Mantle rookie, Now, a couple ounces of gold will buy you that. But if you got the Mantle rookie, you got to turn it into gold, right? So it's better to buy the money, I think. But certainly you can buy that. All right. I think that's it. www.teaserking.com. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. All right. Take care, everybody. Enjoy.